Have you ever imagined skimming the treetops at 50 miles per hour, completely unbound by radar, control towers, or the crushing cost of getting a pilot's license? Imagine staring out of an open-air cockpit. Feel the raw thrust of a spinning propeller as you fly a machine that looks more like a skeletal go-kart than an airplane. How is this absolute freedom even legal in today's strictly regulated airspace? The secret lies in a massive federal loophole known as FAA Part 103. Stay with me until the very end, because item number 1 looks less like a traditional aircraft and more like a mutated sci-fi mechanical creature that escaped a secret government testing facility. Starting off our list at number 10 is a true testament to grassroots American engineering, the Affordaplane. Designed in the late 1990s, this aircraft was built on the philosophy that anyone with basic hand tools could build their own plane. Visually, it is as rugged and utilitarian as it gets, featuring a square-tube aluminum fuselage that makes it look exactly like a flying dune buggy. It strips away all the complex curves of modern aviation, leaving you with a raw, skeletonized frame, one that screams mechanical honesty and pure utility. Under the hood, or rather bolted directly to the open frame, the Affordaplane typically relies on a 28-horsepower Rotax 277 engine. The airframe is constructed from aviation-grade 6061 T6 aluminum tubing, bolted rather than welded. Weighing well under the legal limit of 254 pounds, it utilizes a simple fabric covering for the wings. It operates on a standard 3-axis control system with a traditional stick and rudder, giving you a true pilot's experience with a maximum cruising speed of around 50 miles per hour. From a practical standpoint, the Affordaplane is absolutely brilliant. You can build the entire thing in a standard 2-car garage for less than the cost of a beat-up pickup truck. A quick reality check, though. You do not want to fly this rigid frame in crosswinds exceeding 10 knots unless you want to feel like a paper kite. If bolting together raw aluminum sounds like a fun weekend project to you, wait until you see the massive swept-wing tailless nostalgia machine that is coming up next on our countdown. At number 9, we are taking a massive hit of 1970s nostalgia with the Pterodactyl Ascender. If you were around during the birth of the American Ultralight boom, this is the machine that started it all. Visually, it looks like a giant motorized bat. It features a massive swept-wing design with absolutely no traditional tail section, a colorful Dacron sail wing, and an exposed seat hanging precariously below the main structure. It is a flying time capsule, representing the Wild West era of grassroots, low-altitude, bare-bones personal aviation. Mechanically, the Ascender operates on a pusher configuration, meaning the reliable Cuyuna 430 engine is mounted behind the pilot, pushing the aircraft through the air rather than pulling it. Steering is achieved through a combination of aerodynamic canards in the front and wing-mounted rudders, bridging the gap between old-school weight-shift hang gliding and modern stick-and-rudder flying. It cruises at a leisurely 45 miles per hour, and comfortably stays under the 254-pound weight limit, making it the perfect machine for low and slow sightseeing over rural farmland. The practicality of the Ascender lies in its sheer simplicity. It can be broken down, strapped to the roof rack of a station wagon, and assembled in an empty field in under an hour. However, flying an Ascender requires a specific touch. Its control inputs are notoriously laggy, requiring the pilot to anticipate maneuvers rather than just react. While the Ascender is a brilliant piece of history, if you want an aircraft that brings standard modern airplane controls into the ultralight world, you need to see our next flyer. Coming in at number 8 is the undisputed modern king of this category, the Aerolite 103. Designed in the late 90s, this aircraft represents the absolute peak of modern, license-free aviation engineering. It does not look like a modified hang glider. It looks and feels like a fully realized airplane. With its high-wing configuration, tricycle landing gear, and a sleek aerodynamic nose fairing, it offers a surprisingly professional aesthetic. When you sit inside, you are surrounded by a proper windshield and a traditional instrument panel. making you feel like a genuine aviator. The specifications of the Aerolite are exactly what gearheads dream of. Buyers typically equip it with a Hirth F33 or a classic Rotax 447 engine, producing around 40 horsepower. It features fully independent flaperons, conventional elevator controls, and a heavy-duty aluminum tube construction. Clever engineering keeps its empty weight strictly under the 254-pound limit. It carries the maximum allowed 5 gallons of fuel, translating to roughly 2 hours of glorious open-air cruising at a top legal speed of 55 knots or 63 miles per hour. Practically, this is the benchmark for anyone wanting a turnkey flying experience, and fully assembled, it costs about the same as a brand new touring motorcycle. For our reality check, while the nose fairing blocks the wind from your chest, it is still an open cockpit aircraft. Flying in anything below 50 degrees Fahrenheit will chill you to the bone. But what if you love this traditional design but simply do not have the hangar space to store it? The next aircraft solves that massive storage problem in exactly 15 minutes. At number 7, we have a masterclass in space-saving engineering, the Kolb Firefly. Homer Kolb, a legendary figure in home-built aircraft, designed the Firefly specifically for the pilot who wants high performance but has virtually no storage space. Visually, the Firefly is a sleek, aggressive-looking high-wing monoplane with a fully enclosed tail boom and a classic tail-dragger landing gear stance. It looks incredibly sporty. Abandoning the flying lawn chair aesthetic for a streamlined aerodynamic profile. That actually looks incredibly fast, even when it is just sitting still on the hot summer tarmac. The mechanical genius of the Kolb Firefly lies in its patented folding wing mechanism, powered typically by a 40-horsepower Rotax engine. The airframe is built from welded chromoly steel covered in lightweight polyfiber. This makes it incredibly strong, yet astonishingly light. Easily meeting the 254-pound restriction, the control surfaces feature flaperons that span the entire length of the wing, giving it a phenomenal roll rate and crisp handling. It can take off in under 200 feet, making it the ultimate machine for tight, unpaved farm strips. The true practicality of the Firefly is unmatched. A single person can fold the wings back along the tail boom in about 15 minutes, allowing the entire aircraft to fit snugly into a standard car trailer because it is a lightweight tail dragger. You need exceptional rudder skills during crosswind landings, otherwise it will ground loop on you in a heartbeat. If folding wings impress you, wait until you see an aircraft that does not have fixed wings at all, utilizing a design that will completely change your perspective on vertical takeoff and landing. Taking the number 6 spot is a machine that completely shatters the concept of traditional flying, the Miracopter SC2A. Forget wings, forget long runways, and forget everything you know about fixed-wing planes. This is a fully functional, license-free coaxial helicopter hailing from Slovenia. It looks like a piece of futuristic military hardware shrunk down for civilian use. It consists of an exposed aluminum pilot seat, a central mast, and 2 sets of massive carbon fiber rotor blades stacked on top of each other, representing the ultimate expression of complete vertical freedom. The engineering behind the Miracopter is absolutely mind-bending. It utilizes a coaxial rotor system, meaning it has 2 main rotors spinning in opposite directions, which completely eliminates the need for a complex and dangerous tail rotor. Powered by a 60-horsepower Fiala 2-stroke engine, it relies on a sophisticated swash plate mechanism to tilt the rotors for directional control. Weighing exactly 249 pounds, it sneaks right under the legal limit, offering a max speed of 60 miles per hour and a climb rate that will push you back in your seat. In terms of garage practicality, it is unbeatable. Without the long tail boom of a traditional helicopter, you can literally park the Miracopter in the bed of a standard Ford F-150 pickup truck. Flying a helicopter requires intense hand, eye, and foot coordination, and unlike a fixed-wing plane, you cannot simply let go of the controls to glide if you get distracted. But before we move to our top 5 luxury and extreme flyers, we need to address a massive myth about safety, and then dive into the most luxurious aircraft on our countdown. At number 5, we introduce the luxury sports car of the license-free aviation world, the Swan 120. While most ultralights embrace the rugged exposed tube aesthetic, the Swan, designed by an aerospace team in Europe, goes in the exact opposite direction. Visually, it looks like a miniature corporate jet. It features a stunning swept-back composite fuselage, a graceful T-tail, and smooth aerodynamic lines that completely hide its structural framework. When you roll up to the local grass strip, people won't believe that you are flying this gorgeous machine without a license. The secret to the Swan's sleek appearance and weight compliance is its heavy reliance on modern materials. The entire airframe is constructed from carbon fiber, Kevlar, and aviation-grade fiberglass, making it incredibly rigid while remaining astonishingly light. Powered by a reliable Polini Thor series engine, generating roughly 38 horsepower, the slippery aerodynamics of the composite body allow it to cruise effortlessly. At the maximum legal speed limit of 55 knots, it utilizes a traditional yoke, giving it the heavy, stable feel of a Cessna rather than a twitchy, lightweight, home-built airplane. Practically, this is for the pilot who wants the easiest, smoothest, and most visually impressive flight experience possible without taking an expensive medical exam. While aluminum tubes are cheap to fix, if you scratch or crack that beautiful carbon composite shell during a hard landing, you are looking at a very expensive and highly specialized repair bill. The Swan is beautiful, but it is still strictly an open-air aircraft. If you live where the wind howls and the snow falls, you will absolutely need the fully enclosed beast, sitting at number 4. Coming in at number 4 is a machine that completely redefines comfort in the license-free category, the Merlin Lite. The biggest drawback of almost every ultralight aircraft is extreme exposure to the elements. You are essentially riding a motorcycle in the sky. The Merlin Lite changes all that by offering a fully enclosed, weather-sealed cabin. Visually, it looks like a rugged miniature bush plane. It features actual doors, a full Lexan windshield, a high-wing design, and a sturdy tricycle gear setup, defying the expectation that ultralights have to be open cockpit wind tunnels. Achieving a fully enclosed cabin while staying under 254 pounds requires absolute engineering wizardry. The Merlin Lite achieves this through an ultra-thin, computer-modeled aluminum monocoque fuselage, which completely eliminates heavy internal framing. It is typically powered by a Polini 250 liquid-cooled engine, ensuring consistent temperatures even when tucked inside an aerodynamic cowling. Inside the cockpit, it features a glass-panel digital display, adjustable venting, and even options for cabin heating. The cantilever wing design means there are no wing struts to cause drag or block your panoramic view. The practicality of the Merlin Lite is game-changing. It extends your flying season into the cold winter months, allowing you to fly comfortably in a t-shirt while the ground below is covered in thick frost. To keep the weight down, the cabin is precisely engineered for a single occupant, meaning if you are pushing over 6'3", slipping into this cockpit requires the flexibility of a gymnast. Flying in the cold is great, but what if you want to land on a remote river? You will need our number 3 amphibious machine. Landing at number 3 is the ultimate outdoor adventurer's dream, the Aventura UL. This is not just an airplane, it is a fully functioning amphibious flying boat, built for pilots who see a lake and want to land right in the middle of it. This machine is visually breathtaking. The bottom half of the fuselage is a sculpted fiberglass boat hull, while the engine is mounted high above the wing on a heavy-duty pylon to keep the propeller clear of water spray. It truly looks like a machine built for charting the wilderness. Mechanically, the Aventura is a masterclass in dual-purpose engineering. The hull is made from lightweight Kevlar and fiberglass. Reinforced to handle the pounding of water landings at 40 miles per hour, powered by a robust Rotax 447 engine pushing out 40 horsepower. It has plenty of grunt to haul the extra drag of the hull out of the water. The landing gear is manually retractable. With the pull of a large lever in the cockpit, the wheels swing up and lock into the wings, seamlessly transforming the aircraft into a speedboat. Practically, the Aventura costs about the same as a high-end base boat, but instead of towing it to the lake, you simply fly it there and cast a fishing line right out of the open cockpit. Water operations are notoriously dangerous, however. Judging altitude over glassy water is incredibly difficult, and if you forget to retract the wheels before landing on a lake, the aircraft will instantly flip upside down. Water landings are incredible, but our runner-up strips away the cabin completely for a raw, gravity-defying vertical hovering experience you won't believe. Taking the number 2 spot is perhaps the most extreme adrenaline-pumping machine you can legally fly without a license, the XEL Mosquito. If the Aventura was about exploring lakes, the Mosquito is about conquering gravity in the most direct way possible. Visually, there is almost nothing to it. It is just a pair of composite floats, a rigid aluminum frame, an engine directly behind your head, and a rotor disc spinning just inches above you. You do not sit inside the Mosquito. You strap it onto your back like a mechanical jetpack. The mechanics of the Mosquito are brutally efficient. It utilizes a reliable MZ202 two-stroke engine producing 60 horsepower, transferring power through a heavy-duty centrifugal clutch to the main rotor gearbox. The control system is fully articulated, using standard helicopter cyclic, collective, and anti-torque pedals. How is a heavy helicopter legal without a license? Under FAA regulations, aircraft equipped with floats are granted a specific weight allowance exemption up to 314 pounds, allowing this complex machine to legally bypass the strict 254-pound standard limit. Practically, this is the ultimate mechanical toy. You can hover 3 feet off the ground, pivot 360 degrees, and dart across open fields at 60 miles per hour. Feeling the massive gyroscopic forces of the rotor disc, this is a highly sensitive, high-performance helicopter. If the engine quits, you must immediately execute a complex maneuver called an auto-rotation to survive, requiring lightning-fast reflexes. The Mosquito is an extreme modern machine, but if you think that is wild, our final aircraft takes it to an entirely different century. Finally, at number 1, we have the ultimate climax of license-free aviation, a machine that absolutely defies logic, the Fokker D8 Ultralight. Imagine driving past a local farm and seeing an authentic, menacing World War I German combat fighter touching down in a field. Visually, it is a flawless 3/4 scale replica of the infamous Flying Razor, complete with olive drab fabric, vintage Iron Cross insignias, a massive radial-style engine cowling, and replica machine guns mounted right in front of the pilot's face. It shatters the illusion of what an ultralight should be. The genius of this aircraft is how it disguises cutting-edge lightweight engineering as heavy historical wood and canvas. The airframe, which looks like it belongs in a museum, is actually constructed from modern riveted aluminum tubing and heat-shrunk fabric. To replicate the heavy rotary engines of 1918 while keeping the weight down, it uses a lightweight 4-stroke engine hidden inside the massive aluminum cowling. It features a thick cantilever parasol wing providing immense lift. Despite looking like a heavy warbird, it weighs in precisely under 254 pounds. Practically, flying the Fokker D8 is exactly like stepping into a time machine. You get the raw, visceral thrill of an open cockpit fighter plane, the wind in your face, the smell of exhaust, and the heavy stick feel, without needing to spend $1 million on a vintage antique. Visibility is terrible over that massive nose, and taxiing a vintage tail dragger requires constant zigzagging just to see where you are going. But for the ultimate blend of Americana garage engineering and deep historical nostalgia, nothing beats taking a combat fighter into the sunset legally. From the rugged aluminum tubes of the Affordaplane to the historical menace of the Fokker D8. These machines represent the pinnacle of accessible mechanical ingenuity. Now I want to hear from you. If you had to choose for a weekend trip, would you take the Mosquito helicopter or the Aventura flying boat? Are you Team Chopper or Team Seaplane? And is there a machine I completely missed? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. And stick around for our next video covering extreme off-road tractors.